Burnout doesn't show up all at once. It's death by 1,000 decisions. That extra client that you didn't have space for, that 7:30 a.m. quick call, the lunch you skipped for the third time this week. Those aren't just time management issues. They're leadership habits, and they're leading you straight to burnout. In today's episode, I'm breaking down the 5 calendar-based leadership shifts that every female founder needs to make before the stress takes over and the spark fades out. Welcome to Female Founder Unplugged, the show where we cut through the noise and have a real, raw conversation about what it takes to build and scale a successful business as a female entrepreneur. I'm Lindsay White, people strategy expert, leadership coach, and fellow founder. And I know firsthand the challenges of scaling sustainably and staying connected to your passion along the way. This podcast is for ambitious women just like you, seasoned founders and CEOs navigating the challenges of leadership, team building, and sustainable growth. In each episode, we'll dive into those topics that are most important to you as a female founder. You'll hear honest, no BS conversations about building, growing, and leading a team and culture so that you can grow without losing yourself in the process. Because let's be real, entrepreneurship can feel isolating, and leadership doesn't come with a roadmap. If you've ever struggled with the pressure of running a business, felt overwhelmed by growing your team, or wondered, how do I scale without sacrificing my vision and my purpose? You're in the right place. Let's get unplugged. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Female Founder Unplugged. I am super excited to have you here this week. Last week, we started talking about overwhelm. And if you didn't catch that episode, you can go back and find it right now. But this is a bit of a follow-up because from the overwhelm, we then move into the burnout stage. And you didn't start your business to feel burnt out, to feel overwhelmed, to feel exhausted. You started it because you wanted freedom and flexibility. You wanted to build something that was truly meaningful. Now your calendar feels like a trap more than a tool. Well, if that's you, this episode is going to help you shift everything. It is all about helping each and every one of us, and you can't see me, but my hand is up, find that space where we can actually get back to really deeply enjoying our business again. We started the damn thing on purpose, and it somehow manages to get away from us. And we can move so quickly into overwhelm and burnout, and I want to help you stop that. So first of all, I want to do a little reframing here. Let's start with the myth that burnout is some dramatic breakdown. That when you are burnt out, that you have this catastrophic failure. It's like a train wreck. My friends, it's not. Burnout is subtle. It's cumulative. And it's actually hiding in your calendar. All those yes decisions that don't align, the constant firefighting, the belief that everything needs you in order to move forward. That's the slow burn that gets you all the way to burnout. That's not strategy. Not in any way, shape, or form. That, my friend, is simply survival. And today, we're getting you out of survival mode and getting you back into CEO mode. And I don't mean chief everything officer. I mean chief executive officer. You're running the business, not the business running you. And we're going to do that with 5 specific leadership shifts that are going to start in your schedule. And I got to tell you, I have been working really diligently on all of these things, implementing them in my calendar and in my business. I will admit, I am not perfect at this. And I use this with my clients as well. There is no such thing as perfection. We're all in a bit of a process here. But the most important thing is that these are conscious choices that we can start to make. And as we move the needle, as we get better and better at implementing some of these things, the shift is remarkable. I have felt the shift. My clients are feeling the shift. So let's get into it. So shift number 1. Is from reaction to regulation. Because if you're always reacting, you're not leading, you're just surviving. Okay? There is a very distinct difference. If every notification, every client emergency, every urgent team request pulls you off course, then you are reacting you're not leading. Okay. We want to start with a CEO session. And my suggestion is Monday. I like to do it Monday morning. Now, you're going to pick a time that works for you. But if you start with a CEO session, CEO time at the beginning of every week, just 30 minutes to look ahead and ask, what's mission critical? What's going to move the needle in my business? And what's going to restore my energy, not drain it? So if you remember from our last episode, we talked about where's the fire, right? We go into the burning building. That's what our business feels like. Feels like everything's on fire. It's a lot of smoke. Where's the fire? Identify the fire. So with just 30 minutes in some CEO time, you can actually start to identify what's mission critical, see where the fire is, and think deeply about what you're going to do with your energy this week. Because the truth is, my friend, you don't need to be the firefighter all the time. These aren't fires of your making. And I know we own the business, so we do feel like we own it. I get it. But you need to act like a strategist. That's your job. What's the strategy for these mission critical pieces this week? What's the strategy to put out the fire? And then who needs to action it? And your name doesn't need to be at the top of that list. So that's number one. We're moving from reaction to regulation. We're getting strategic. Shift number two, from control to trust. So many of you tell me I can't delegate. I'm a terrible delegator. It's just faster if I do it. Oh my gosh, that's such BS. Listen, delegation isn't about speed. Let me say that again. Delegation isn't about speed. It's about scale. Okay? You can't grow your business sustainably if you are doing all of the work and if you are touching all of the things all the time. It doesn't work. There's not enough hours in the day, in the week, in the month, in the year. You're one human. It's a straight line to burnout. So one of my clients was personally reviewing every single proposal before it went out. Not because she didn't have capable people on her team. She'd actually hired really great people. I helped her hire them. But because she didn't trust that it would be done her way. Together, what we did is we built a review system. We set up some guardrails. So sometimes those are financial. Sometimes those are with specific clients that there's more comfort. But what we did is we set up spaces where her really capable team could action things themselves. And they felt great about it, by the way. And she could finally exhale, right? Your job is to build trust, not to control outcomes. Trust is the strategy that frees you from a path to burnout. When you can trust yourself first and trust your team, you are creating a space for true scalability in your business. You are creating a space where everyone feels great about the work they're doing. You are leading from a place of strategy, not a place of control. All right. Shift number 3. We need to shift from output to energy. Every founder I work with tracks things like revenue, task completion, some important KPIs, but almost no one tracks their energy. If your calendar is full, but you're flatlined, if you're exhausted, if you're overwhelmed, you're not operating, you're overextending, my friend. You aren't actually functioning at your highest level. You're just running around like a chicken with your head cut off. And I have to tell you, this is the one I struggle with the most. And the reason why? Because I want to help all my clients. I love being with my clients. I love coaching leaders. I love untangling complex people problems. That's the work I'm passionate about. And what do? I end up filling my calendar with so many meetings and so many coaching sessions that it leaves me drained. So I'm saying this to myself as much as I'm saying this to you. We need to do a weekly calendar audit. What energized me this week? What drained me? What needs to be delegated? What perhaps needs to be deleted? We hang on to things too long that no longer need to be a priority anymore. And some of them quite simply need to go away. And we need to be ruthless with ourselves. And if you can't do this by yourself, if you have a trusted team member, a business bestie, or you need a coach to help you get really clear about this, go back to your values. What do you care about most? How does that line up? So for me, I look at my calendar and I recognize, I have a big value of service, big value of connection, but I also have a big value of wellness. And so what's happening is the service and the connection values are stepping all over my wellness value because I'm feeling really drained and exhausted at the end of the day. Okay, hang on, time out. What's going on here? How do I realign this? Your energy, my friend, is actually your edge. It's your energy that fuels the culture. It fuels the passion. It underlines the mission and the vision. It really brings the values in your business to life. It all generates from you. You're the engine. So you need to protect your energy in the same way you protect your profit margin. You need to be ruthless about it. You need to be very clear. Because when your energy flags, when it wanes, when it's down, you're actually pulling energy from the other people in your business. And again, that is not a sustainable way to scale. So you do need to be quite protective of your energy. And you need to think about how that is, really shows up in your output. All right, shift 4. We need to go from hero mode to human mode. And this is really, really tricky. So let me say this to you. You are not the hero in your business. I'm going to say it again. You are not the hero in your business. What you are is the heartbeat. You are the soul of your business, but you don't need to be the hero. And I recognize that for those of us that started our businesses basically from an idea, we spun this thing out of nothing. We bootstrapped our way through it. Like we put our heart and our soul and sometimes our life savings into these damn things. We think we need to be the hero. We got to put a cape on and we got to rush around all day long, all week long. We got to save the world. No, you are the heartbeat. You are the thing that keeps the blood pumping to all the other places and spaces. So we need to shift how we view our own interaction in our business. So if you're answering every question, if you're fixing every mistake, if you're propping up everyone, you're not leading, you're enabling. And that's the problem when we're in hero mode, is we become an enabler. And in fact, what we do is we take agency away from people. So again, I see it all the time with my clients. They hire really smart people, and then they actually take the power away from them. What we do is we shut them down and we disengage them when we do that. So when we are in human mode, when we recognize that we're the heartbeat, that we're the pump that keeps everything moving, and that we have really great people who can manage the questions, who can find solutions to the mistakes, probably better ones than we can, who can actually be accountable and we lead them through that, that's truly powerful. Because leadership isn't about being the expert in the room. It's about creating a room full of experts and then unleashing them. I'm going to say that again. Leadership isn't about being the expert in the room. It's not about being the smartest person. It's about creating a room full of incredible experts and then unleashing them to do their very best work. That's your job. So swap in your brain. Let me fix it. 4, what support do you need to move this forward? Switch from, I got this, to, how do I help you figure it out? Switch from, I'm the hero, to, I'm here to support you. And that one shift, my friends, is going to change everything. Okay. The 5th and final shift you need to make, and this is key, from avoidance to alignment. Your burnout is coming from doing work that is out of alignment with who you are, what you really love to do, and what your business is truly becoming. You're not doing the right things at the right times for the right reasons. It's that simple. You say yes when your gut says no. Oh my gosh, I'm a people pleaser down to my toenails. This is my journey, friends. I'm with you on this one. You onboard that misaligned client because the invoice looked good, right? It's lots of money, even though there were red flags waving. And I hear this all the time. I knew they were not going to be a great client. I knew they were not aligned, and I took them anyways because it was such a great contract. I cannot tell you how much I've heard that. You say yes to that event, even though you know that you're in a space where you're starting to feel overwhelmed, on the verge of burnout. You add that one more client at the end of the day. I am notorious for this. Sure, I'll fit you in at 5 o'clock. Times I've done that, right? That is where the burnout really begins. This is where we get ourselves into trouble because we say yes when we know deep down we need to say no, thank you. And let me be clear. First and foremost, no is a complete sentence. Those 2 letters put together with a period afterward is a complete sentence. Second of all, it is okay to say, the timing's just not right for me. Or I really appreciate the offer. I'm not going to be able to attend. Like those are perfectly acceptable answers. And you know the cool part? When you put it that way and you're really polite and sincere, people will accept that. It's amazing what happens. I had to learn that. I'm on a journey, my friends. I'm there with you. What you want to think about is every quarter, so every 3 months, creating a yes list for yourself. This is a simple guide of what you are really saying yes to. These are the things that really light you up, that you're really engaged with, that maybe make a real strategic sense in your business. And those are the only things you're going to say yes to. And then the rest, if they don't fit, then it's an easier no. Because I get it. This is really hard. And what you want to do is let your yes list really guide your calendar. Not the fear, not the scarcity, not the people pleasing. Oh, somebody's not going to like me. It's really about what's on your yes list. And this is only for 3 months. So here's the cool part. You can test it out. If it doesn't work in that quarter, you change your yes list. See, we can be flexible. But for a 3-month period, these are the things I'm saying yes to. Now, particularly as we start to get to the last quarter of the year, so October, November, and then into December, things start to get extremely busy. There are a gajillion parties and networking events and cocktail hours and, of course, all the stuff, concerts with our kids. And, maybe we want to go to that cool holiday play, whatever. What is on the yes list? And then the other things are, thank you for thinking of me. I'm unable to attend. And in this way, we move from avoidance to really true alignment, and it'll help us stay out of that space of burnout. All right. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, this is so me, you are totally not alone. Again, I am working it. I'm working these 5 things myself, my friends. And I see this every day with my clients. It's a big part of why I designed the LPC Accelerator the way I did. And I want to invite you to be a part of that LPC Accelerator community. And what we do in the Accelerator is we bring together some one-on-one coaching because we're all different and we all need that individualized time to work on the things because maybe you only have 2 of these 4 that are struggles for you. So you need the one-on-one time. We also, in the Accelerator, I'm bringing to you all my best tools and systems and processes that your business really, really needs to scale and to bring that alignment. And then we've got an incredible community that's forming that I know you've been longing for, a space where you can identify with everyone else that's in the conversation. We're all at the same place. And that's why I created this place. It is the place for founders who are in that space where they are scaling, they are growing, they're feeling the burn, and they want to do that in a really, truly sustainable way. So if you're finished with feeling the burnout, the accelerator is the right place for you. So you can head to highvoltageleadership.ca, doesn't matter, either one. And you can learn more there, or DM me the word burnout, whether it's on Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever you're listening to this. And I will send you a link for more information. The cohort gets started here at the end of September. And if this is the type of work you know you need to do as a leader and for your team and for your culture, the accelerator is the right place to do it. So send me a note. Let me know. I would love to talk to you about if there's a fit or not. All right. So my friends, I know that you didn't build your team and your business just to hustle. You built it to create really incredible impact. That's what we all have in common. That's what everyone in the accelerator has in common. We want to have incredible impact. We want to have freedom and flexibility. We want to feel fulfilled and joyful in our work. And if your calendar and your behavior doesn't reflect that, that's the very first place you need to lead. You need to lead yourself. Burnout doesn't have to be your story, but leadership that's intentional and aligned and really, truly powerful, that's where your next level starts. And that's when you can really level up your business. So until next time, I want you to lead with heart, grow with real purpose, and stay high voltage. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Female Founder Unplugged. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Connect with me on Instagram at highvoltleadership and send me your questions or let me know your biggest takeaway. Looking for more strategies on scaling your business, building a powerhouse team, or leading with confidence? Head over to highvoltageleadership.ca or follow me on LinkedIn for exclusive content, resources, and special offers just for listeners. Until next time, keep leading, keep learning, and remember, the real magic happens when you're unplugged.